Hello, and welcome back to the Magnikid podcast. Today, we're talking about a topic that is often misunderstood, and that is dyslexia. If your child has dyslexia, or if you suspect they may have dyslexia, you may have heard many different opinions about what it means. Some of these opinions are helpful, some are not. Unfortunately, there are many myths about dyslexia that can leave parents feeling worried, confused, or discouraged. So today, we're going to separate fact from fiction. We'll look at some common misconceptions about dyslexia, explore a strength-based perspective, and talk about the hopeful outcomes that are possible for children with dyslexia. Let's begin with one of the biggest myths. Myth number 1, dyslexia means a child is not intelligent. This is simply not true. Dyslexia has nothing to do with intelligence. Many people with dyslexia are highly intelligent, creative, innovative, and successful. The challenge is not intelligence. The challenge is learning to process written language. A child with dyslexia may struggle to read words accurately and fluently, but that does not mean they lack ability. In fact, many children with dyslexia have strengths that are not immediately visible through traditional reading assessments. They may be excellent problem solvers. They may think creatively. They may have strong verbal skills. They may be gifted in areas such as art, engineering, entrepreneurship, design, leadership, or practical problem solving. So if your child has dyslexia, remember this: their reading challenges do not define their potential. Now let's look at another common myth. Dyslexia means seeing letters backwards. Many people believe dyslexia is simply about reversing letters such as B and D. While some children may occasionally reverse letters, this is not the main characteristic of dyslexia. Dyslexia is primarily a difficulty with processing the sounds in language and connecting those sounds to letters and words. That's why children with dyslexia often benefit from structured, systematic instruction that explicitly teaches these skills. Understanding this helps parents focus on the real challenges rather than the stereotypes. Now, let's look at myth number 3. Children with dyslexia will never become good readers. This is one of the most damaging myths of all. The truth is that many children with dyslexia become successful readers. Do they sometimes need more support? Yes. Do they often need more practical and specialized instructions? Absolutely. But dyslexia does not mean a child is doomed to struggle forever. With the right intervention, many children make remarkable progress. And that's why hope is so important. Now let's shift to a strength-based perspective. When a child struggles with reading, it's easy for everyone to focus on what they can't do. But children need adults who can also see what they can do. They need adults who notice their strengths. Maybe your child is incredibly creative. Maybe they build amazing things. Maybe they have wonderful people skills. Maybe they are curious, determined, compassionate, or resilient. These strengths matter, but they should be celebrated. A strength-based perspective doesn't ignore challenges. It simply recognizes that challenges are only part of the story. Your child is much more than a reading score. Your child is much more than a diagnosis. Your child is a unique individual with gifts, talents, and potential. Another important thing to remember is that children often develop confidence when they experience success in multiple areas of life. Reading support is important, but so is allowing children to shine in their areas of strength. When children feel competent and successful, they become more resilient when facing challenges. Now let's talk about hopeful outcomes. As parents, it's natural to worry about the future. You may wonder, will my child cope academically? Will they ever enjoy reading? Will they be successful? These are understandable questions. But history is filled with examples of people with dyslexia who have gone on to achieve incredible things. What they often had in common was support. Someone believed in them. Someone helped them develop their strengths. Someone refused to let their challenges define them. And that's exactly what your child needs too. They need encouragement. They need patience. They need appropriate support. And most of all, they need hope. Progress may not happen overnight. There may be setbacks along the way. There may be days when reading feels difficult. But growth is possible. And every step forward matters. If your child has dyslexia, remember that the goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. The goal is helping them become the best version of themselves. The goal is building confidence while developing skills. And that journey is absolutely worth it. As we finish today's episode, remember these three truths. Dyslexia is not a measure of intelligence. Children with dyslexia have unique strengths that deserve to be celebrated. And with the right support, hopeful outcomes are possible. Thank you for joining me for today's episode of the Magnikid podcast. And remember, a diagnosis does not determine a child's future. Potential, perseverance, support, and encouragement matter far more. See you in the next episode.